Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Thursday. It is the second day of December in 2021. I hope this Thursday finds you healthy and COVID free. I hope this Thursday finds that all your needs in terms of food and shelter and clothing are being met, as well as that of your family. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field trying to save lives. Blessings upon those also that pick up garbage for us to keep our streets and sidewalks clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on those trying to help the victims of prostitution, child pornography, child molestation, and pedophilia, who often are also victims of human trafficking and sex slavery operations. Blessings upon those trying to help, upon those blessings upon those victims, and curses on the perpetrators. Finally, blessings upon the homeless, 600,000 men, women, and children in the streets of the United States of America with no roof over their head, and millions around the world in similar conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom, and again, blessings upon those that are trying to help. There's going to be a basketball game tonight. Our New York Knicks are playing the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls are in the top, also with the Brooklyn Nets. They're in the top of the Eastern Conference. As a matter of fact, officially, they are actually fourth, tied for second. Them, Washington, and the Bucks, all 14-8, and Brooklyn is 15-6. Game and a half separating them from Brooklyn. So it's very tight. As I said, it's going to be tight all year in the Eastern Conference. And so tonight's a good test for the Knicks. I'm very confident again, as I was against Brooklyn. Now, the Brooklyn game, of course, we know was a tough, hotly contested game that the Knicks lost by 2 with 2 free throws, questionable free throws at the end of the game, and a lot of questionable calls. That game is done, but it's a game that the Knicks could build on, particularly with the new rotation that we now have. I'm very excited about the possibilities for this new rotation. Now, let's talk about the Bulls for a minute. The Chicago Bulls right now are only going to be missing Kobe White tonight, as far as I know. Kobe White, unfortunately for the young man, he tested positive for COVID-19, which is a shame because he did get the vaccine, but he tested positive. And so he's gone for 10 days. He had just come back from soldier surgery and was playing well. And he's been a traditional Knick killer since he's been in the league in his young career, but he will not be available today. They have been playing pretty good even without Kobe White, with Alex Caruso and the rookie Ayo Dosunmu backing up Alonzo Ball and Zach LaVine. Now, what's going to make this game interesting, put it that way? We know Zach LaVine is a dynamic scorer. We know Lonzo Ball has turned into a really good three-point shooter. He's a great defender, and he's a good point guard overall. DeMar DeRozan is, to me, in my opinion, the premier mid-level scorer in the basketball. Been that way for a while, but in terms of the mid-range, there's nobody like DeMar DeRozan. He's automatic, within the foul line area, and he knows how to get to his spot at will. So that's going to be tough. And then there's Nikola Vucevic, who I don't think he was available when we played them the last time, but 6'10", 260 pounds. Interesting stat. Vucevic, for his career, shoots 60% from 3 against the Knicks. That's for his career. And if you know the Knicks, you've been watching Knicks, especially when he was on Orlando, you know that that's true. He has light us up from 3. He has shot 60% from 3 against the Knicks, 61% from the field. So we know that this guy has killed us in the past. Also, when you look at the lineup, Vucevic, DeRozan, they got Javonte Green playing in replace of Pat Williams, Zach LaVine, and Lonzo Ball. That's a small ball lineup. They're playing small ball lineup. And so this is going to present interesting challenges for the Knicks. So our starting unit, so now you're going to have Mitch basically guarding Vucevic out to the line, unless they're going to have Mitch stay near the basket with whoever's around the basket. But I think Chicago's going to be playing more an open style, but you might have either Mitch or Julius guarding Vucevic, but somebody's going to have to guard the 3-point line in general because Zach LaVine can shoot the three, Ball can shoot the three. DeRozan is a much improved 3-point shooter, as we remember in the last game we played them. Caruso can shoot the three. This is going to be a challenging game. Our Knicks, one of the things that makes the defense, again, this is the difference between old time. Like when I say old time, I mean like in the 1990s and before that, even the early 2000s and before that defense. And now, back in the day, defense was tougher in terms of it was more physical. There were hand checking allowed. You could put your hands on somebody. People still do that, but the refs don't call it as much this year. But you can actually hand check, and then they allowed you to put your forearm on a guy. Under the basket, it was basically, mano a mano physical basketball. This is the Shaquille O'Neal era. And so that's what it was. But today, even though they're laxing the rules a little bit and they're letting them play more physical this year, the defensive thing that you need is speed. You need speed to get to shooters, to chase them off the 3-point line. You need speed to recover. And then, of course, you need length, because length and speed, make up for the lack of physicality. You can get to a guy, and if you got enough length, you could cover, which is where, Mitch Rob strength comes in terms of that. He's rounding into shape, by the way. He was really looking much better. He's looking a little bit better every game in terms of him, losing the extra weight he gained and gaining his speed and quickness back. It's taking time, but you can see the progress that he's making game by game. So that's good. And we're going to need it tonight because that length is going to come in handy. And the speed of the Knicks as a defensive unit, especially now when you have Alec Burks into the starting lineup. And the second unit has always provided this whole season, but they're very good at doubling the basketball, recovering quickly, rotating quickly. Very good at that now. Very excited. I liked what I saw both against Atlanta and against Brooklyn in that regard. So Julius is really, in my opinion, he's a different player with the new lineup. He's a different player. I don't know why him and Kemba, like just having Kemba walk on the floor did something to his game where he wasn't playing good defense on a consistent basis and he wasn't moving the ball on a consistent basis. But now all of a sudden he played great defense against Kevin Durant, the other day. And some people talking about Mitch had a bad game against Brooklyn. Really, I'm looking at the video and I'm like, what are you seeing? Mitch was trying to guard LaMarcus Aldridge, who will still kill you from the mid-range. And then at the same time, he's guarding guys who get beat. Okay. So when D Rose is as good as D Rose is, when D Rose gets beat off the dribble by Patty Mills, now Mitch Rob's got to guard Patty Mills and LaMarcus Aldridge. The idea is not to allow Patty Mills to get into the lane or anybody else. Okay. That's the idea. Because then you force Mitchell to guard two guys. And on the last play, on that play by Dembry, whatever his name is, he's coming down the lane. Mitch is battling with LaMarcus Aldridge. And then he has to switch off Aldridge to guard the rim against Bembry. And I don't know, to me it's 50-50. That wasn't an obvious foul. The referee, the NBA reviewed it and said the play on the call on the floor stands. That don't mean nothing to me because we've seen multiple times where the refs review a call and still get it wrong. So whatever. But I don't blame Mitch for that. So we're going to need him tonight with Vucevic shooting three at 60% against us. Okay. So there's that. Then DeMar DeRozan killed us the last game. Well, DeMar, like I said, he does it. He gets in that foul line area and he's just about unstoppable when he gets there. And he gets there pretty consistently. Like he knows how to get to his spot. That's the thing about NBA ball, NBA players, when they're high level professional scorers like DeMar DeRozan, one of the things they are able to do is get to their spots. And you hear him talk about that. I'm learning to get to my spots. Young players will say that because seasoned pros get to their spots. They'll fool you into thinking they're going somewhere else. And they're going to shoot at this particular spot, but they'll still get there. They'll still fool you. They'll still kill you on the shot. DeMar DeRozan's been using his head fake his whole career. And he still gets people in the air. He's got it down to a science, and that's what makes him a dynamic scorer. So this is going to be a challenge for us because we got to be quick. We got to be fast. We're going to need everybody moving. The second unit does it very well. And I like our second unit against Chicago's, even though Chicago's got a good second unit with Caruso, as we know, the Sumo, Derrick Jones, and Tony Bradley. They got a good second unit, even without Kobe White. So we're going to have to be ready to play tonight, no doubt. But I'm expecting a better performance now at the Garden with Nick Nation, showing up at the Garden and Chicago coming to visit. They can get all hyped about playing the Madison Square Garden if they want to. Right now, the Knicks, we here, we deep, and they coming. So I think I'm expecting a good performance from our team tonight, particularly as we know before. First and third quarter, always a problem, right? Now, against Brooklyn, the first quarter we did very well, obviously. Third quarter, I think we did too. Even though they came out the gate with a 14-2 run, the Knicks responded with an 11-2 run, and it was only a 4-point game going into the fourth. So that's a big takeaway from previous when we'd be down double digits going into the fourth quarter. All right. We'd be down double digits, but that wasn't the case, against Brooklyn. And that was Brooklyn. So, I'm seeing a better, and then of course against Atlanta, we played really good first and third quarter. We won both of those quarters against Atlanta. So I think the trend is going to change now, where the first and third quarters, we're going to come out to play. Now for the Knicks, RJ Barrett is the only one that's listed day to day right now, which means that we got D Rose ready. We got Nerlens Noel ready. We got Taj Gibson ready. All of those guys are going to be ready to go today. They're all part of the rotation. We should be good on that front. Taj, again, veteran. Now he's had some rest. Professional defender, high level defender, rebounder, fundamentally sound, high IQ, experience. We're going to need that. It's going to be a good game, but I'm predicting the Knicks win tonight against Chicago. I think we're going to be all right. And honestly, it's going to be a grinded out game. But then again, all the games in the Eastern Conference are grinded out games. There was a very good game last night between the Indiana Pacers and who was it? It was Indiana, and they played, I'll tell you, it was Indiana against, oh God, who was it? Atlanta. Went down to the wire. It was battling back and forth. Now, this is Indiana who, when you look in the standings, you would say, oh man, they must stink. Look at their record. I mean, Indiana is really 9-15, but they're a good team. And last night, it was a one possession game. In fact, no, the game, they were down 1. And it was less than like 30 seconds, like 30 seconds left. There was 30 seconds left. Duarte and I forgot, I think it was LeVert, they get a steal. They strip Trae Young. And so all Duarte had to do was lay the ball up in a wide open layup. Now he had somebody chasing him. I think it was Herter was chasing him. But he could have dunked the ball. He missed the layup. And that was the game. But that's how close it was, a grinded out game. And that's typical what you're going to see in Eastern Conference basketball. I love it. I mean, this is old time Eastern Conference grinded out from the 90s style basketball. This is going to be good. So, tonight I like our chances very highly against Chicago Bulls. Chicago's coming in pretty much 100% strength. Knicks is also. RJ Barrett, Thibodeau reported yesterday that he felt a lot better than he did Tuesday night with the cold, the flu that he's probably dealing with right now. That's good. He comes back strong. That's a difference maker right there. So we got Taj coming back. We got RJ coming back, and we know we got strong backup as we saw against Brooklyn, even without RJ. He played, as we know, he played Grimes only 3 minutes, but he had Quickly in there for 38 minutes. We know D Rose was in there. Our boy Obi. Mobb Deep is ready. The Knicks are ready. We here, we deep. I'm looking for us to come out with a W tonight at the Garden. It's going to be wild. I mean, it's Chicago, New York. It doesn't get much better than that at the Garden. Both teams at pretty much full strength. This is good. And also, Mitch Rob, I'm like Mitch Rob and Deuce are like my two favorite players now on the Knicks. I say they even. And So I like Mitchell Robinson. Any of y'all come on my channel talking about trading Mitchell Robinson for I don't care who, you know I'm gonna just shut you down, right? Because I'm not having it. Mitch Rob is my man, right? So Mitch Rob is gonna come to play tonight, and I think he's gonna lock up Vucevic. I think Vucevic might have a problem. I think his 3-point shot is gonna be shut down by the length of the Block Ness monster. I'm looking for that tonight. I'm looking for my man RJ. I'm not sure how strong he's going to be, but hopefully he comes back strong. Some of y'all bringing all these concerns about RJ. Let me just tell you something about RJ Barrett. He's 21. And what we don't need, which we do too much in Knicks Nation, you don't need to microanalyze RJ Barrett. Because if you're microanalyzing, you know what they say. Sometimes you can't see the forest because of the trees. What does that mean? That means you're too close to it to see, to really appreciate its beauty. Okay? And so when you're in New York and you see all our guys under the lights of Madison Square Garden, everybody's flaws is exposed, right? It's exposed unlike any other team in basketball. So RJ is developing, but some of y'all are so micro-analyzing. He needs to do this. He needs to practice this. Leave the boy alone. He's going to be a star. Matter of fact, I see he's coming. You know, he's had the cold. He had some rough patch. Yay, that's going to happen. That's part of what they call development. Okay, part of development. And so he's going to be fine. Stop micro-analyzing everything the boy does at age 21 in his third year in the NBA. So he'll be good. But I just hope he's strong tonight because how that cold could weaken you when you come out of a cold. You feel a little weak. But he's a professional athlete, strong young man. I think he'll be all right. So I'm looking for a bounce back game from our man RJ if he's feeling good. And then of course Mitchell Robinson, and then I mentioned Randall playing. This guy has played really good defense against Brooklyn. I'm expecting him to come back with a vengeance tonight. The weak link, Fournier. But I'm saying he's the weak link. You're going to have a guy like that. Now, interesting enough, last year in the rotation, the weak links offensively we know was Elfrid Payton, right? And then on the rotation, actually the worst defender, in my opinion, from last year's rotation was Alec Burks. And now, under Tom Thibodeau, at age 30, he's turned into a really good defender. And so a weakness becomes a strength. And so he's no longer the weak link, and we know he's clutch in the fourth quarter. So now Fournier, I'm not sure who they're going to have Fournier guarding. If they have him guarding Lonzo, I don't know if they're going to have him guarding Zach. No, he can't guard Zach. Maybe Javonte Green. Yeah, probably have him guard. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to switch until they get, Levine on him or DeRozan. That's what they're going to do. They're going to keep switching till they get one of those guys with Evan Fournier on one side of the court, and they're going to blow right by him. It's going to cause Mitchell Robinson to have to guard whoever just beat Fournier and Vucevic, which means we're going to have to really scramble. As Tom Thibodeau says, they got to fly around out there. They got to do that. So that's going to be important tonight. That's the weak link. Fournier better come to play. I want to see him moving without the basketball today. So not just standing around watching, moving without the basketball and getting himself in position to shoot from his favorite spots. Okay. And then that's a key tonight. And then, of course, if he starts knocking down open shots, because he's going to get them. He's going to get open looks. So if he starts knocking them down, we should be all right. Now, long term, I think Fournier is going to do that. As the season progresses, he's going to start knocking down those open shots on a consistent basis because he's getting them. With RJ, you got to understand, RJ, Julius Randle, Alec Burks, they draw defenses to them. And then defense has to watch Mitchell Robinson on lobs that they haven't really been looking for, that the Knicks haven't really been catching them on, but hopefully they will start to. So that leaves Fournier to get open looks. He's going to eventually knock him down. He's a pro-level shooter, so he should be able to start knocking him down. Hopefully he does that against the Bulls tonight. And if he does, we're in good shape. We're in good shape tonight. So that's the preview of the Knicks versus the Bulls. Be there or be square. We're gonna have to. This is gonna be a good game, man. I can't wait to see it. And I'm getting work done on my house. Guys gonna be here any minute. They be working from like but from like 9:30 to like 6, 7 at night, and you be all kind of construction going on in here, which is why I'm in a different spot. But so I may not be with KOT tonight, with Jay Ellis and them, but I will be tomorrow morning reviewing the game. Anyway, please be safe on Thursday. Be safe out there. Watch your back. Enjoy yourself. Shalom.